All right. Okay. I am live. Okay. This is a video that shares more about my work and my purpose in life as a soulologist and the brand that I have been building for about the last 7 years, maybe. I started building my brand, SheThatExists, back in 2016. It's when I started this channel, and I wanted to share more as a woman founder, daughter founder, and business owner. More about my brand, more about the journey that I have been on building my brand as an artist and designer, and a woman entrepreneur, daughter entrepreneur, and child of God, child of Creator, child of life. I'm Reverend Kerrie Stone, and I have uh, a daughter. I'm a mother, and uh, I'm also a daughter of a Vietnam veteran. And I have been building the brand SheThatExists for SheThatExists, her story channel, for about 7 years now. And I am a soulologist, and um, I have earned my associate's degree, bachelor's degree. I have an aesthetics degree, which is a degree in the science of skincare. Uh, and then I also have a mastery in consciousness, and I'm earning my master's degree right now. And I'm also a PhD candidate uh, for family pastoral counseling psychology, which is pretty deep. I want to share more of my work as a soulologist, because whenever I let people know a little bit about my brand and what I do and who I am and what a soulologist is, they they they're not really sure what it is. So I just want to just share from the scriptures, what it says. It says in Genesis 2:7 that Creator Almighty formed man of the dust of the ground, man and woman and child. Um, it's all included, and breathed into our nostrils the breath of life, and we became living souls. So that's who we are. So I started studying all of this having to do with personal development and self development, and started studying different authors and PhDs when I was 15 years old. I also started studying different religions whenever I was 15 years old. Uh, Gave my life to Creator Almighty publicly in a church whenever I was 15, got baptized when I was 16, and have been on the journey ever since. Uh, I've stayed true to my path and to my calling and who I am. Uh, and here I am today. What people don't realize is when you're building your own brand and you're surrendering to your calling and your purpose from Creator, that it is a journey. And you're going to have obstacles, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have just different life experiences that teach you growth, that teach you wisdom. And the great thing about it is we do have helpers that are sent along our path, people who show up for us, who are there for us when we're in our highest calling and when we're on our greatest life path, a life path of the greatest calling ever. I was sharing with one of my true soul friends the other day that was talking about, I think I was talking about Jonah, how when Jonah was called from his purpose and his calling from Creator Almighty, that, he struggled with his purpose. He struggled with his calling. And he ended up getting stuck in the belly of a well, and it's it was how Creator said, I'm going to kind of get a hold of you, and you're going to sit with me, and I'm going to get your attention, and you're going to get my guidance and direction. And So I was sharing about Jonah and how sometimes we get so distracted by other people. We get so distracted and caught up in the ways of the world that we do get off course because society distracts us. Society gets us out of our purpose. Society isn't really there to guide us and direct us into our soul's purpose. And so I want to talk about that because uh, I'm marketing, I'm promoting and putting out there my Soulology sessions, and that's why I'm sharing more about what I do in my calling. I just meet people where they're at on their life purpose as soul on their journey, because there are people who are um, seeking their place in this world, what meaning this life has to offer, what meaning that this there is to just be in this world. And we're not going to find that in the school system. We're not going to receive our life purpose and our calling from the government. We're not going to be encouraged in our life purpose by the system. um, and it's very rare these days if you even have a teacher in the system, the school system, that encourages you on your calling and your path from God and creator in life and your highest life path and your calling, because that's just the world that we live in. And if you did have a teacher that encouraged you for your highest life path and told you the truth that you're going to have obstacles in life and you're going to have challenges in life, and it's going to be this great big adventure, and you're going to be tested, you're going to be tried, people are going to come into your life and test your character, um, make you question yourself, doubt yourself, you name it. it we're going to go through it all. And the great thing about it is it's all to help us discover who we are, because when we know our identity in Yahushua Hamashiach, the Messiah, the Christ within, that we invite to live within us, and our hearts and our lives to be our guides, to be our master teacher, to walk this journey with us. One of the greatest things about it is you end up knowing your true identity, and nobody can take that from you. Nobody can tell you who you are and who you are not when you're on this journey um, of purpose and the highest path and the calling of a lifetime. So, the work that I do as a soulologist and the mantle that I have been called to and that I'm being called further deeper into is helping people clear intergenerational stuff. And a lot of times people go through things and they're not aware that it's ancestral, that it has to do with intergenerational. Um, However, that's where I help bring light, where I help bring awareness, and I help people connect to their gifts and their talents, their calling and their purpose. And when you're being called as a living, breathing soul, and Creator is calling your name, it's something that you can't get out of, and it's a calling of a lifetime. It's a journey of a lifetime. The word says that many are called, few are chosen. And so I share a lot to the chosen ones. A lot of my messages are to the chosen ones, those who are called to a higher calling and a higher purpose, um, to discover more meaning in their life, to know the purpose of their life. I was talking to someone on the phone the other day who has a nonprofit, and he said to me a quote. I don't know the quote exactly, but he was talking about the most two important like days of your life, the day that you were born, and then um, finding out the day you find out why you were born. I could remember when I was 12 years old, moving from Ovilla, Texas, where I grew up, and us moving to Arnold, Missouri, where I went to middle school. And I was listening to a Michael W. Smith song called My Place in This World. And um, I just remember crying and crying and crying because I was leaving and moving away from my elementary school and everything in the life that I had known, moving, to a new middle school, not knowing anybody, not knowing how my life was going to be, and like leaving behind everything that I knew at the time. And that's what it's like, when you're surrendering to creator for your life purpose, and you're recognizing who you are as a living, breathing soul, a sentient being, and you're being called into creator's purpose for your life. It just feels like loss. It feels like you're leaving behind all that you've known. And so there's a lot of emotions that go with that. There's a lot of emotions that come up with that. And so a lot of my work that I do in the coaching and consulting and spiritual counseling that I offer as an ordained minister, is to help guide those through the process. Because when the world teaches secularism, society teaches secularism, and you're not going to get that guidance and support through secularism. However, those who are called and chosen and are choosing their highest life path, that's how I help as a soulologist, and that's how I help as an ordained minister and as a reverend and as a teacher. And a lot of the services that I offer our soul's guidance, where who I am as a soul connects to you, who you are as a soul, to help draw out your gifts and talents and what's needed for leadership and your purpose and your calling, and to help you discover more of why you're here, and to tap into your soul's ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge. And it's people say that we have a soul, but it's not that we have a soul. It's who we are. We are soul. We are living sentient beings. Creator formed us from the dust of the earth, and breathed the breath of life into us and made us living souls, living beings. And so um that's what I'm here for. I finally learned my purpose. I finally learned my calling. I finally learned, what my place was in this world. um I'll place the song by Michael W. Smith in the description of this, so whoever connects to this lesson, this video, this introduction to what is going to be one of my mastery in consciousness and divinity programs as a soulologist, that I'm offering for sale to work with me. I'll post the song in the chat so you can connect to the song. It's very deep lyrics, about finding your place in this world. And I see so many people who are just lost, or like, they're just following the crowd and just, doing what is expected of them in society. And uh, those of us who are called to a higher calling, and we all have purpose, we all have a reason for being, and we all have a reason for being alive in this world. And it took me a long time to realize that life is a gift. Our life is a gift. We're going to have obstacles. Many of us are going to have even family challenges that we're going to have to overcome. Being not understood, not being loved by our family, not being respected by our family, not being supported. Um, However, I learned at a very young age that I had to invest in myself. I started buying self-help books at the bookstores whenever I got my license and could drive and had a job. I would buy self-help books, and I just started learning everything I could get my hands on. This was while I was still in high school, because I knew that the school system wasn't teaching me the truth, and I knew that the teachers that I had were not telling me the truth about the world. And so a lot of what I offer in my soulology sessions and the work that I do in consulting and coaching has to do a lot with continued education and conscious education. Um, Back around 2014-15 or so, I earned my mastery in consciousness. And I say I earned it because I earned it. Um, I earned what was called a responder ray, and it means in Latin to respond to your soul's calling, to respond to your soul's purpose. And so that's a lot of the work that I do as a soulologist, is continued education and helping people uh, as a guide, as an educator, as a teacher, um, to help people connect to themselves as soul, to walk the journey, to dive deep into their purpose and their calling of a lifetime. If you want, if you feel guided, if you feel called to book a session with me, go ahead and email me at SheThatExists@gmail.com for an initial discovery session. And we can book that, and you can make payment for the session and schedule your appointment. This video is going to be an evergreen product, meaning that it's going to be available as part one of a program series to educate more on what a soul is. It's who we are, and for people who are wanting to connect to their true self and their true nature, and to connect to who they are as a living sentient being. I'm going to end this recording and in this broadcast. I have a class coming up at 8 o'clock, and yeah. So I hope this was helpful, and it's just a basic session on the meaning of soul, and it's who we are. It's who Creator created us to be. And we were formed from the ground with the breath of Creator breathed into our nostrils to make us living souls, living beings. And that has been my life's work as a soulologist since I was 15 years old. And so, since I was 15 years old. So it's great to know your purpose. It's great to know your calling. It's great to know your reason for existing. And I want to encourage everyone to connect to the earth, to ground, because we're made of the earth. We're made of the ground. So don't be afraid to go out and connect to the earth and the trees, and take your shoes off and ground, and remember how Creator created us, from the earth, from the ground, and breathed the breath of life into us and made us souls, living beings. And this is it for now. And this is not, I was going to say it's going to become, but this is a continued education, a conscious continued education series, and a part of my master's work as a living master. And so it's going to be, or it is going to be, or it is a very enlightening series. So you definitely want to stay tuned, and definitely want to book a session with me. And I'm getting my whole infrastructure rearranged, because for so long I didn't really have an infrastructure that was really working for me, and what I needed as a woman, and what I needed while I'm still completing my education and earning my master's as a PhD candidate. And so yeah, I'm getting all that together, and working on all of that. So anyone who wants to book a session with me at SheThatExists@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to hear from you. And I also have my Facebook page, She That Exists, and I've been working on rebuilding my website as well. So this is Reverend Kerrie Stone for my brand, She That Exists, and this is being recorded live for She That Exists, her story channel on my YouTube platform, and this is going into my library as a part of my master's work and my master's program that I'm offering for sale for those who are interested. And welcome. Thank you for connecting, and thank you for joining, and thank you for purchasing this program, and thank you for booking a session with me, and thank you for joining me on the journey, and for being a part of a wonderful gift of a lifetime for yourself. And congratulations on investing in yourself, and in yourself as soul, and for your growth and evolution as soul. And so it is. Thank you. Next time. See you next time. See you soon.